Ayy, look, yeah, ayy. I'm in the lab like Dexter, brand new batch he tested. I'm with all the extras, don't try and bitch, I'm pressure. I'm the type to step on steppers, I'm the type to step on steppers. I'm the type to step on steppers, I'm the type to step on steppers.
Yeah, man. Before we can even like get started to the playoffs, start talking about the playing tournament, man. That last day of school for the NBA season, man. We had Payne Pritchard have a 30-point triple double. Kenneth Lofton Jr. from Memphis, 40-point
42.
game. We had Bones Highland, Mason Plumlee duking it out on the bench, and then literally Rudy Gobert and Kyle Anderson threw hands with each other. So let's go ahead and jump right into the Minnesota Timberwolves incident. So I think it was midway through the first half, I believe. Kyle Anderson and Rudy Gobert were having some sort of argument on the bench, which escalated into a heated, argument where Rudy Gobert ended up throwing hands with Kyle Anderson. He threw a punch at him, and he ended up getting sent home for the day and suspended for this upcoming playing game versus the Los Angeles Lakers. But we're able to, catch some video clips on social media where, reports said that Kyle Anderson did repeatedly call Rudy Gobert a bitch in the huddle, which Rudy Gobert did take offense to. So he's it's crazy. The day before, he said that he respects Kyle Anderson. He's like a tough guy, and
He always keeps it real.
he always keeps it real. He doesn't take anything he says personally. But it looks like once that word slipped out, it was all hell broke loose for Rudy Gobert. So,
I
but
think
that
he
was
took it kind of personal though, because apparently he was playing with back spasms. So like, if someone says that to you, like, yo, like you being a bitch, and you're playing with back spasms, I'll be like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, I'm on the floor for a reason. So I mean, I think that's why he took offense to it. But the whole exchange was hilarious if you watch everybody's face. Ant was shocked. Torian Prince pushed Rudy Gobert the hell out the way.
yeah, he was pissed. He was like, "What is this guy doing, man?"
No, this team, and we haven't even gotten to Jaden McDaniels punching the wall. It's crazy. This team ruined their season.
Add insult to
It's not
injury.
up, man. Like, if another man calls you a bitch and he's standing in front of you, you don't do nothing. Like, he
Yeah.
basically is, like at that point.
But to be honest, so should he have like waited till he got to the locker room? Like,
I don't know.
regardless,
I heard that
I
I
feel
heard
like
that the whole thing escalated into the locker room. So
it went into the locker room even after that, and then Kyle Anderson was still going on. He was still mad, But at the same time, man, if somebody else calls me a bitch, I gotta, retaliate, respond back, especially if it's my teammate, And you kind of have that respect for your teammate and everything, and that kind of just shatters in front of everybody else. Like you look at the face of Ant and Karl Anthony Towns; these guys were really just confused and lost, like completely confused and lost. They looked up and like, what the hell's happening here? And it gets to show you later on in the game, Jaden McDaniels walking down the tunnel, punching the wall for no reason, and breaking his wrist. Timberwolves just exploded right in front of our eyes. Literally, it just exploded right.
no Nas Reed, no Gobert, and no Jaden McDaniels.
Shout out my Lakers, man. That's the effect right there.
It's like what a way to ruin your entire season. Like for Jaden McDaniels, I don't care how mad you are, and it's the last day of the regular season, it's the last day of school. What on earth could you be that mad about that you went ahead and went and punched the wall, bro? Like it doesn't make any sense. But to get back to the whole Rudy Gobert situation, I just feel like I think the whole argument started off with Rudy Gobert, Kyle Anderson telling Rudy Gobert go play some defense, and then Rudy Gobert said grab a rebound or something like that, and then that's how it all started. But I mean, I kind of respect Rudy Gobert for what he did, man. Because in that situation, what can you do? He's kind of like testing your manhood. He's punking you in your own huddle, you right in front of all your teammates, all the guys that you consider brothers. It doesn't matter what's on the line at that point. No person's gonna come in here and just disrespect me like that. And I mean, I understand where Rudy Gobert was coming from. At the end of the day, he called me a bitch. I'm probably gonna take it. That's there's just some words you just don't call people. We've seen it happen with Kevin Durant and Draymond Green and how that ended up working out for the Golden State Warriors franchise. And then now it's kind of a similar situation where Rudy Gobert had to put hands on Kyle Anderson. But to be honest, it's not even like this whole incident is all right, but just to add insult to injuries is losing Jaden McDaniels for this playing tournament and potential playoff run for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Because, like Abdi mentioned, you're already down Nas Reed, who was a quality backup big man who could play alongside guys like Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert because he could really space the floor and put the ball on the floor as well and get to the basket. But Jaden McDaniels, man, he was a hell of a defender. He was a true piece of this team. Anthony Edwards, when Kevin Durant got traded, Anthony Edwards came out and said, they have Kevin Durant and D Book. We have myself and Jaden McDaniels, so we're just going to be just fine. But for him to be out now due to a fractured hand, it's just going to be it's pretty much a lost season for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and especially for all this to happen on the last day of the season, which is pretty much meaningless. I understand this. A lot of teams were playing their best guys still due to the fact that, you know, the standings were so close. The Clippers were playing their guys, the Warriors were playing their guys, and every game was on at the same time on Sunday. It was all on around noon Pacific Standard Time, so everybody was keeping track with whoever. And I think who were they playing? The Pelicans. So that was also a big game in terms of the standings. Now that the Pelicans ended up, I think the Timberwolves ended up winning that game. They did secure that 8th seed. The Lakers secured that 7th seed. So the Pelicans now are 9th. So that every game was very, very important. But for them to lose a lot of guys in the whole process, then you at some point you have to ask yourself, was it all worth it? What was it all for? So it's just gonna be
You guys
interesting.
agree with them suspending Gobert though? Or like at least telling him he's not gonna play the playing game.
If I'm the Minnesota GM and I'm coming into this game, hell no. I'm bringing Gobert to LA, regardless of the situation. If the NBA is not saying a word, I can't suspend him.
I can't. No, I respect the suspension simply because, I mean, as a franchise, you got to put your foot down. You can't just let things like this slide. Because then if you let Rudy Gobert get away with this, then what's stopping you from, you know, letting another guy like Anthony Edwards or Karl Anthony Towns, if they get into a heated, you know, argument with somebody else, what are you gonna do with them? So, you know, they're just taking a stand and they're doing what's right for the franchise. Obviously, it's the worst timing in the world, especially when you need your guys. You need a guy like Rudy Gobert right now, especially when you're down already, Nas Reed. So, I mean, the Timberwolves have to do what they had to do, and it cost them. But at the end of the day, you look at it this way. You know, obviously they have a matchup with the Lakers, and if they potentially lose in that game, they do have one more opportunity to make the playoffs. With the
So is
playing
it
game
for
on
the
Friday.
entire plays or just this specific game against the Lakers?
No, just this specific game versus the Lakers, he'll be out. He didn't travel with the team at all, so I think he'll be back for that next playing game, whoever they end up playing, whether it's the Oklahoma City Thunder or the New Orleans Pelicans.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Me and now Lakes, now that's overkill.